My internet is back, so of course we had to do a tier list video. Nothing else would have sufficed. We got all 70, 60 something, 66, 67, 800 CCF tier 3s. This is an only 800 and lower CCF tier 3 tier list. There's no transcended characters, and we will not be considering any of these characters at tier 4, even though they can go to tier 4. So we're hard capping it at tier 3. Everything else is on the table if they are a tier 3 and if they cost 800 CCF to get to tier 3. Let's get into it. We've got these 5 categories: low value, fun to play, support, good, PvP gods, and of course PvE gods. All right, let's start with Ancient One. Ancient One, I think, is just a support. I think you can argue that she has some good value and some PvP value. I don't know about PvP gods value, but she is pretty good. As a tier 3, Ant-Man is very good, but for the time being, I'm going to put him in fun to play because I don't know how the rest of this list is going to shake out. Black Bolt is insane at tier 3. His uniform is actually coming up for sale soon in about a month, maybe a little bit less than a month. So you should look out for that, but you should also look out for other universal villains that may take his position. But most of them happen to be like native tier 2 and shit like that, so they're a lot more expensive. Black Panther is an amazing tier 3. I will put him in combat gods as well right now. I'll put him as a god for the combat class. He's very, very strong at tier 3, but in general, tier 3s have the issue of being squishy. Black Widow, very low value tier 3. Very low value tier 3. I know she's available for ABX and ABL, but there's another. There is another, and she's obviously just too busted. Honestly, she's too busted. She might even be better than Black Bolt, and we'll actually rank them amongst each other. Carnage is a good tier 3. I don't know. I think he kind of needs the tier 4. We're going to put him in good for now. Elektra is low value. Cyclops is support only. Vision is low value. Winter Soldier is low value. We can bang out some of these clowns now. Icarus is low value, but I actually don't feel like ranking these, so I'm not going to. I'm not ranking low value like within each other. I'm not saying that Vision is better than Winter Soldier, who's better than Icarus. I'm just saying I'm not going to rank them. They're ranked in terms of when I put them there and nothing else. Omega Red's a tough one. I think he's actually a really good tier 3. I think it's just difficult to visualize his value because he's so new to the game in terms of when he came in relative to other characters. Chasm is a really good support for the Spider-Verse characters. Spider-Man is fun to play. I don't remember him being very good at tier 3. I mean, well, no, he's a PvP god at tier 3. No, he can be a PvP god at tier 3, true. Morgan Le Fay is definitely a support, one of the best in the game. Green Goblin is fantastic at tier 3. Dare I say he is a god? He's so good. Hawkeye is fun to play, and he has some AC niche value, I should say. I'll call Blue Marvel a support. He does have a support ability on his uniform. Don't come at me for that one. Hela is definitely a PvP god. Absolutely. Showing her value here with Otherworld Battle and all these stupid bans. MODOK is fun to play, I would say. Hulk is a PvP god, I would say. Man, they did Miguel so dirty. I didn't want to talk about him until later. They did my boy so dirty. So dirty, man. He is really fun to play, though. He is really, really fun to play. She-Hulk as a tier 3 is good. I would say she's good. I think people forget how good she is. I did some showcases on her in World Boss Legend. Like, obviously, she has combat female hero along with Titania. And, of course, she's a good leadership. And, of course, she has the gamma radiation support on her artifact. But as a standalone DPS, she's actually very good. She's actually very good. Enchantress is an amazing support. That's where we're going to put her. Kingpin is, at this point, I would say he's low value, bro. At this point, I would say he is low value. Who else is low value here? Taskmaster is an amazing support. War Machine is an okay support. Probably worse than Cyclops, let's be honest here. White Fox is a top 5 support in the game, period. So she's got to be up there. There's actually a lot of supports now. They've added a lot of supports to the game recently that make them quite good. Yeah, Sabretooth might be a PvP god because as a tier 3, if you're just comparing them at tier 3, PvP is probably the most skewed by setting the ceiling artificially to tier 3, because once you go to tier 4, Sabretooth cannot compete with, you know, these two guys here. But if you're talking tier 3 only, with the immortality passive, it's quite nice. Daredevil is low value here. Falcon is low value, unfortunately. I would say Crescent is low value. I'm not even going to count her as a support. I know she has the leadership, but that's basically it. Punisher's not bad for PvP at tier 3, but I still, like, I don't think he's good enough. I think really, if you compare, and this is probably a good comparison, why I put Sabretooth here and I put Punisher here is the example of sort of like the minimum threshold, right? So Sabretooth with the artifact, with like a full tier 3 build, he can be sort of useful. Whereas Punisher, even with a full build, he still has so many, like, it's very, very niche where he's available. Obviously, if you're just pitting him against tier 3s, he's going to survive a lot longer to get that counter off over and over again, but I don't think it's enough. Hyperion, I would say he's low value, even though he has the leadership. Kitty is a support technically because she has that leadership, but it's pushing it. It's pushing it. Jane is very good at tier 3. I would reckon she might be a god. Cap is obviously a god at tier 3. He's so strong. Blade, unfortunately, is low value. Yeah, I hate to say it, but it's true. Polaris is an insane support for the mutants, so she has to go up there. At this point, I would say, I mean, Shang-Chi's a good tier 3, but I'd say he's just, is he just fun to play or is he good? This is where we're gonna have to get into some weeds here. We'll get into the weeds a little bit later on those because we'll have time. Professor X is a very strong tier 3, but he's squishy, so we'll put him there. Same thing goes for Magneto. They're basically exactly the same in that sense, but they're probably both better than She-Hulk. But you got to remember, they're tier 3. I'm not even going to consider level 80. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to overcomplicate this video where like, oh, by the way, these ones can go to tier 380, so they're automatically better than ever. No, we're not going to do that. We're just talking tier 3, just tier 370, man. Just keep it straight, okay? Rogue at this point is low value, unfortunately, but we'll put her at the top because we like Rogue. Athena is probably low value. I would say she's fun to play. She is kind of fun to play, to be honest. Ghost Rider is low value at this point. Keep in mind that some of these characters, especially Ghost Rider and Blade and these other supernatural, spooky characters, could be getting an upgrade for Halloween with the new Supernatural update coming. Also, keep in mind, with Black Bolt, Morgan Le Fay's uniform, although paywall, it costs $20, is also going to be available in a month or less. Gwenpool, I would say, is fun to play. I don't think she's actually a pretty good tier 3. She just doesn't have a lot of value in terms of like game modes. She's really like GBR and not much else. Wong is a good support. He's honestly not bad. He's a kind of a sleeper for PvP, but we'll put him in the support category because you guys are not ready to talk about his PvP value. Rocket is a dog shit tier 3, bro. I know he's a support for the Guardians, but I'm not even going to put him there. I'm going to put him in low value. I was so disappointed with him. So disappointed. Shuri, I kind of think is a god, and the explanation here is that she's a very good support. She also has a leadership now, but she's also a good DPS. Like, if you don't have Luna and you don't have Spider-Gwen, you know, she's a very good third option. A very good third option. Because of that, I'm not going to put Miss Marvel, Kamala in PvE gods, although they're similar. Because although they're similar in terms of, like, World Boss Legend, ABX, ABL value, Shuri beats Miss Marvel by having the leadership and having the support. So that, for me, is, like, the big separator between the two of them. Namor is a very good tier 3. Is he a god, though? I don't know about that. I don't think he's a god. From what I remember, I don't think he's a god. Iron Man is also a pretty good tier 3. Again, not sure if he's a god. He does have the flexibility of transforming into a villain, but not sure if he is a god. He gets a lot from his uniform passive. He also gets a lot from his... I don't know where to put him. He also gets a lot from his tier 4 because it gives him offense and defense. Miles is insane. Miles is insane. Miles is one of the best tier 3s in the game. He pops off so hard, bro. Same thing with Sharon. Same thing with Sharon. She pops off so hard. If it wasn't for the restrictions not allowing Sharon and Miles to really pop off, bro, they would be offing pop. You know what I'm saying? Magic is a good tier 3. Again, like Sabretooth having the immortality passive, I think she's solid. She also has a little bit higher damage than him, and she has more favorable matchups against combat PvP characters like Carnage, Hulk, etc. I think she deserves to be there. Squirrel Girl is fun to play. Unfortunately, I think that's where she goes. I know she's a leadership for Thanos, but that's just kind of whatever. It is what it is. Venom, very good tier 3. Very, very good tier 3. I would like to call him a PvE god. He's a very strong tier 3. I think people forget how good he is at tier 3. He might be better than Black Panther. He's just not proc friendly. That's all it is. That's really all it is. He's just not proc friendly, and that's why a lot of people don't like. Captain Marvel is low value. Keep in mind the Marvels movie coming out is going to change this, so just a PSA there for you guys. Groot is not really a support. He's not really... shit. Groot's fun to play, I guess. Groot's kind of in an awkward position. They did the Guardians so dirty. I just want to say this now. Whoever did the Guardians update in MFF hates the Guardians. Like, hates them. And it shows. It shows. Star-Lord is a good tier 3. He's just so... He's so squishy. He's so... Like, he does very high damage, but he's so weak defensively, I can't really justify putting him any higher there. Iceman is definitely fun to play, but beyond that, I don't think he's really going to give you much value. Emma definitely has PvP value, 100% here. She just doesn't have the immortality, so I think that's where she loses out a little bit. Loki at this point is low value, I would say, or fun to play. You can sort of put him in one category or the other. However, again, Loki Season 2 is coming out soon, so by like the end of December, early January, we should be seeing a uniform for him, and that will change his prospects. Storm, like Star-Lord, very high damage, but very squishy. Very, very squishy. So I think she sort of deserves to be here. Wait, hold up, bro. All these cats are back here. I don't know. I feel like Storm is not as good as Professor X. I don't know, dude. I can't. It's kind of melding all together here for me. It's a little bit. It's getting a little meldy. I'm not 100% sure. That seems alright. That seems about right. Is Omega Red better than Storm at tier 370? This is where people are gonna get confused. Obviously, at tier 380, all the 80s go to the front, obviously, but this is just so boring. It's so boring to do that. Thor tier 3 is pretty good. I think he's somewhere. I mean, I think he's pretty good. I think he's somewhere around Iron Man's level, honestly. And then Ultron is fun to play. And that's kind of pushing it. Hey, that was pretty quick, eh? That was pretty quick, and we gave every character at least one line of dialogue. Not bad at all. We're back with a vengeance, baby. I take one day off from making legit videos, and here we go. I got the energy. So yeah, there's low value, fun to play, support, good, PvP gods, and PvE gods. Remember, this is tier 3s, 800 CCF only, and of course, only at tier 3, level 70, no level 80s, no tier 4s considered. That's the list. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.